Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am here with a video entitled My Thoughts on Larissa's Interview. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, let me sing you this sweet little song. Everybody needs a sweet old auntie, right? Having one, it just would be nice. Everybody needs a sweet old auntie, right? So welcome to Auntie's Advice. Welcome to the family. And to all of my nieces and my nephews and my members who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. Um, I wanted to do this interview. Not this interview. I wanted to do this review of Larissa's interview that was posted yesterday on a YouTube channel because this was the first time that we have had the opportunity to hear Larissa speak without having the fear of breaking a non disclosure agreement. And so I found the interesting, intriguing, fascinating, and some more. I also thought that there were some inconsistencies in some of her stories or some of her answers, and I wanted to talk about those things. So Larissa, as we all know, has been fired from TLC for an alleged cam soda video, pictures, whatever it was. I haven't looked it up, haven't been even wanting to see it, but there appear to be some things that Larissa kind of wanted to get off of her mind as it relates to TLC. And so I wanted to talk about some of the things that I heard, and I want to give my opinion. All of the things that I am going to be saying are my opinion. And some of the things that I am going to be saying is things that can be found in this particular interview that Larissa did. So Larissa, of course, we know is still dating Eric, and they are living in Colorado. And there was some speculations, if you will, about a recent arrest that Larissa went through with ICE. Okay. So a lot of people felt like it was a fake storyline. They felt like, ICE was not open on the weekend and the like. And Larissa wanted to make sure that she cleared the record as it related to such arrest. Um, I don't know of any ICE agency, any immigration agency that isn't open on the weekends. Okay, people who are in violation of a green card or whatever it may be can have their asses arrested at Sunday night at midnight. Okay. So I don't know why there was such a big speculation about it. I've seen some of it on Instagram where people have been questioning whether or not this young lady was, Larissa was locked up. But trust and believe, when you have that arm of the government looking for your ass, it doesn't make a difference what day of the week it is and what time of the day it is. If they're looking for you, bitch, they're going to catch you. We all remember Ashley and Jay had been arrested by the same agency and spent quite a bit of time in jail or on the in their facilities. And so if they're going to get you, they're going to get you. But Larissa felt like she needed to clear up all of the rumors that this wasn't true. She indicated that she provided the documentation to TMZ, and they verified it enough, to run the story. I don't know, I didn't, I don't think I reported on it because I just didn't care enough at that particular time. But since then, she has been out. Larissa indicated in her interview that they have been on her like this, and that, at any time, if they feel like you're in violation of your green card, then they can come get your ass. And I truly believe that part of the story. Larissa was asked, whether or not she believed that Colty was the one who called or who made the call or who attempted to have her deported. And at that time, I thought it was just like, oh my God, when Larissa indicated that she believes that this was bigger fries or bigger people in higher positions with more money, more clout, more, you know what I'm saying without saying it. And so I thought that was very interesting because I thought that Larissa was implying that TLC had did it. Now, again, I said that I thought that she was implying that TLC had did it because Larissa started the conversation off indicating that Colty had on several occasions tried to get her deported, but he was unable to do that. And I'm sure that there were also other people who probably tried to do the same thing because Larissa, while she is one of the most popular and loved characters or cast on TLC 90 Day Fiancé, she also is one of the most hated. There was a time in history where I too used to talk to Larissa and Carmen too, but of course we fell out over the GoFundMe that Larissa had going. And so, we weren't really talking anymore. They wanted me to choose and pick a side. And as a YouTube content creator, I'm not picking a side. I don't want a favorite. Um, I try to be fair with all of them. I am a equal opportunity roaster and dragger bitch, and I don't have time to be behind the scenes kumbayaing with your ass. Okay, that's just not something that I'm going to do because I feel like you all look to me to be honest in my reviews, and I think that I've learned over the years that in order to have a non-biased and an objective opinion, you cannot be friends with the cast members. That's just me, okay? That's where I am. Wasn't always there, but based on some things that I experienced a couple of years ago, I've learned that Auntie, you have to be have an arm's length relationship with these people because in order for you to be objective and in order for you to not be biased in your reporting, so anyway, Larissa said that she believed that it was people who were more powerful, who rang the bell, blew the whistle, if you will, on her. And I felt like she was implying that because she had been fired from TLC, which she indicated that she wished it hadn't happened that way, that maybe, they had an axe to grind. I could be wrong. Let me know down in the comments section what you think that Larissa was implying with that statement that she made. Another thing that was brought up in the interview with Larissa was her children. And this really grabbed at my heart. As many of you all know, I am a parent, and I've raised my child all my life. I cannot even imagine for one moment not raising my child and not having the pleasure of doing that. Okay. So Larissa, as we all know, has left Brazil and left her two children in Brazil. She indicated that her ex-boyfriend, or the son's father, that they had a tumultuous relationship, and that, there's some other woman that was in a relationship. Larissa indicated in the interview that they were blackmailing her, that they had sent her a letter, and this was like a blackmail letter. When asked the question if she had given them any money, she indicated that she didn't. So I was like, well, then how the hell how the hell is it blackmail if you have not paid one red cent? Okay, not one Abraham Lincoln. Okay, not one quarter. Okay, like nothing. So how then does it turn into a blackmail? Now maybe her interpretation of the English language caused her to say that they were blackmailing her, when actually maybe she intended to say that they were threatening her, because blackmail requires it requires a cost and a ransom. Doesn't it? Maybe I'm wrong. Write it down in the comment section. But I just was like, how are they blackmailing you? So she said that they were going to, different bloggers and all of that. And so that means that they were willfully releasing the information. Thus, there is no blackmail. I I missed that part. And so she said that they were doing this for money. And a lot of times people, family, friends, associates, whatever, colleagues, whatever, they will have a tendency when they see that you have some type of popularity or you're on television, they will have a tendency to want to go to the blogs and to social media, to the tabloids and everything else, and try to exploit your experiences, your life, your character. They will try to do that in order to gain money. That happens with the biggest and the best of them. So while I understood what she was saying that they were doing to her, I did not see, a person who has not spent 1 cent to keep anybody quiet being blackmailed. But she said that they were going to the different blog spots and stuff like that and telling her business. She talked about the baby's father, and she indicated in that interview that the baby father doesn't even have custody of the son. And that tore at my motherly heartstrings, like for real. Because I'm thinking, here this child is. His mother is in the United States. His father is living in Brazil, but Larissa indicated in an interview that the child is living with the brother of the father. What is this child going through? Larissa, was speaking almost in the voice of a mother. She indicated that the reason why she's staying in America, the reason why she's gotten Botox, the reason why she's had the plastic surgeries that she's had is so that she can use that to make money. She says that, when she did her, what did you call it? Excuse me 1 second, y'all. She said when she did her fans only, that this was a way for her to make money to be able to send back to the children. But this child, or this son that she discussed, doesn't live with either parent. And so I'm wondering what his life is like. when you don't have either one of your parents who are raising you. You're being raised by an uncle instead of your mom. And so while she may feel justified in the fact that she's sending money or putting money to the side. And even that I questioned, because at first she said that there was a bank account that was open, and then she indicated that she is going to open up a bank account. She indicated that she sends money to her daughter, and this is the money that she's been making. But I was like, and she said, this is my way of making sure that when he gets older, he'll have something. And it's a way for me to apologize, okay, if you will, for this time that, we're not spending together. Money ain't going to do that. Money's not going to replace time. It never has. It never will. You cannot redeem money, or I'm sorry, you cannot redeem time with money. You cannot, like, how much does a minute cost? How much does a hug cost? How much does a kiss cost? Like, how can you put a monetary value on that? While I understand what she's trying to say, my heart will not allow me to be in agreement with it, because you cannot buy that time back. There's no money that's ever going to apologize or make it right for a parent to be absent from a child's life. None. Our children need us. And I understand her thought pattern. I understand where she's coming from. I understand how she's reasoned this and made this seem right to her in her mind. But the most important thing that your children need is your time. They need to know that they are loved unconditionally. They need to know that they are enough. And I know that she's had some hard times. And I know that she feels like staying here in America and making this money is going to make things right. But I'm telling you, it's not. The only thing that's going to make it right is that that child knows that they are loved unconditionally by their parents. Period. Pooh. So I really took issue with that. My heart was torn apart. She was asked about a third child. There was a rumor, and there's always been a rumor. Even I think that there is a third child. When asked this question, Larissa said, quote, I am going to be making a video where I'm going to discuss that topic. Be looking out for that video. I'm going to discuss why I lied. What? Huh? Come again? So Larissa never denied the fact that there is or could be another child. She indicated that she's going to be making a video where she's going to explain all of that. Well, hey, you're on the platform. Explain it now. I, as an interviewer, would have pushed. But everybody doesn't interview the same way that I do. Matter of fact, I don't even do them anymore because I just, I can't. But I need to know what that means. What does that mean that you're going to be doing a video? So are you indicating then that there is another child somewhere and that you're going to explain that. Larissa also went on to talk about how she had made a decision, when she was going to reveal the fact that she had children. She said that nobody knew she had children. People had already done the research on it. My mailbox was flooded about a child, and a third child, and was like a one, two, and a third child. So while you thought that nobody knew about it, it had already been going around on different platforms. People were already talking about these children long before they released it on TLC. She indicated that, this was a plan and a pro. See, here's the thing. I always fully have believed that there is a storyline within a storyline. I believe that these people, when they come forward with their story, that they're coming forward with their stories for one reason or another. I really do believe that they see that there's some kind of wealth in this, or they can catapult themselves into the public eye in order to catapult their career or their financial earnings. It ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But when the push comes to the shove and they're asking you to do things that you know are not true, you shouldn't do them. When they come back and they say they wanted me to do this and they wanted me to do that, I think it's a whole bunch of crock of bull, because you are responsible for your own self. You are responsible for how you're presented to the world. Not a network, not a producer, not an executive producer, not a cameraman, not a gripman. Nobody's responsible for how you look but you. And I really believe in the power of no. And I believe in the power of hell no. And I really, truly believe in the power of hell to the no. I'm not doing that. I'm not saying that. I'm going to present my most authentic self. And it's that. Like, that's how it's going to be. You're not going to tell me what I can and I cannot release about myself, nor am I going to allow you to put some fake script in my face and tell me this is what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, when you're going to say it, and where you're going to know. No, hell no. I'm not doing that, because what I don't want to do is come back and backpedal and pussy pop off of something that I presented to the public and expect you to see me as someone who has integrity, who's honest about a damn thing. Did I believe she tried to be as honest in that interview as possible? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. But I also believe that there was a lot of backpedaling and pussy popping and finger pointing and blaming it on the network. And I don't think that any of them should blame it on the network. I believe that you know what your role is. Even to the point where Larissa began to talk about how good of a woman Debbie was. As much as we have seen her call Debbie all kinds of bitches and everything else, and you mean and you rude, you sit on an interview and say that she's a good woman and make a good steak. What the hell? So what are we to believe? What are we left with to believe? Because I'm confused as hell. If I love you, respect you, and think that you are a good person, I'm not going to sit on there and call you all kinds of bitches and tell you, shut up, babe. I'm not going to do that. So, again, I felt like there were so many contradictions in her story. And I don't know about you all. Write it down in the comment section. If you just get tired of them with this, it's blame it on the network. Blame it on Sharp Entertainment. She indicated that she went into the hospital. Like, y'all, it was a hodgepodge of bull, okay? She indicated that she went into the hospital, right? Because She wanted to reveal, like Kylie Jenner, her brassicas. She had brassicas done. We all seen the transformation, that they've gone from walnut to a grapefruit. And she wanted to show her brassicas. She had posted a picture of her new brassicas, and TLC contact. Now these are her words. TLC contacted her and said, "Take the picture down." She said, "Hell to the nah. Kylie Jenner got hers up." Bitch. She said Kylie Jenner got hers up, and I want mine up too. She said that they began to argue so much that she ended up going into the hospital, because this was after she had had her breast done in February. And she said, after you have surgery, you can't have your blood pressure, nothing going up. So she went into the hospital. And Larissa said that, basically she didn't really want to do this anymore anyway. And she just wished that they had not pushed her out the door the way that they did. But it seems like there was so much confusion and conflict going on in the background, that this was the inevitable thing to do. Like this was it. This was going to happen no matter what. No matter what. She indicated that if people really knew Colt and Debbie, the real Colt and Debbie, that we would be shocked. I don't think so. She said that Colt had been sheltered by his mother, and I guess this is his reason or the excuse why Colt is the way that he is, because he's been sheltered. She indicated that he didn't get his driver's license until he was 25 years old. I know some people, like my mother, who never got one. Getting a driver's license and not getting a driver's license has nothing to do with your maturity level. There are a whole lot of people, okay, grown as hell, who do not have driver's license. And so I didn't understand why that was used. He didn't get it. He didn't get it. We all see that his mother pacifies him and that she is going to defend him to the end. We know that. And so I didn't understand where that came from. Like I was like, okay. I think that my takeaway from the interview is that Larissa is going to get that money by motherfucking hook or by crook. And she is okay with the life that she is living. I thought that she tried to be as honest as she could be, but there were so many holes in her story that I sat there even more fascinated with this woman than I was before. What is her real story? What really happened in Brazil? I am so curious to know what the other side of the story is. Larissa even indicated in the interview that she was asked the question during the tell-all that she felt like some of the cast members were mean to her. She specifically called out Andre and Lizzie, indicating that there was a competition. Bitch. Ah! Ah! Okay. Auntie. Auntie! Auntie! Okay. She indicated that Andre and Lizzie want to be the face of 90 Day Fiancé. Ah! Larissa said that they've had the opportunity to fly to California and to Atlanta to take these pictures, and they're, I guess, these are the promos. And most of the time when we see 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After, it's Larissa and Colty. And she said that Andre and Elizabeth was like, we gonna get this. We getting this part, we taking these pictures, we gonna be the face of this mofo. And so she felt like that they were being mean to her. She said that, the network wants drama, drama, drama. And the more drama that you provide, the bigger the paycheck, the bigger the reward, I guess. And so, she said that it was just very mean, it was ratchet, it was she said that it was really a mean tell all, and that the cast is are encouraged to have conflict and fighting amongst each other. I believe that. I truly believe that. But the controversy ends up being on the editor's floor. Larissa said that she had gotten to the point where she just wasn't going to argue and didn't give a good goddamn alakazam what anybody said. And so I did believe that, but Andre and Elizabeth as the face of 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After, hell to the no. Why would they? Why would they even think that they could outrank Larissa? Hate Larissa or love Larissa. She has been the face of this cotton freaking 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After, period, poo. It has been Larissa and Colty. And and outside of Larissa and Colty, it has been Angela, okay? Not even Michael, bitch, just Angela. Okay? So there's certain people who they have more popularity than the other ones. I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, Andre and Elizabeth, half of us don't believe their storyline anyway. I don't believe a lot of the arguing and bickering that goes on amongst the family. I don't think that they really at war as much as they pretend that they are. I think a lot of it is, cut, you know what I'm saying? Let's roll that again. So Larissa was also asked about the money that she made while being on TLC. Larissa indicated that it was just a little teeny bit of money, but that, with her cam soda or either her fans only, that she made $100,000, bitch. Let me sip on that 100,000. Cling, cling to Larissa, bitch, for making $100,000. Okay. And yes, this is water. I've got to be up with my puppy tonight, so this is water. Clean, clean. Clean, clean to Larissa for being smart and using what your mama, well, no, using what the doctor gave you to make that money. But making that money at the end of the day is not going to fix relationships. It's not going to do it. There were a couple of other things that Larissa talked about. She talked about the young lady Natalie, and she talked about the young lady Vanessa. And I really don't want to get into that because I just don't think it's necessary to talk about those other women. I have indeed, um, just being transparent, I have indeed reached out to Vanessa. And Vanessa, my offer still stands, although I have not been doing interviews at all. Should you decide that you want to tell your side of the story, since everybody else is telling it, my door is open for you to tell your story. And that's just being transparent because I don't have a reason to hide. Okay, I believe when everybody else is telling your story, you should have an opportunity to tell your story too. Okay? So my offer to you, Vanessa, still stands. If you want to tell a story and prove to everybody that you're not the hoe that they think you are, okay, I'm looking at you because I know you're here. If you want to tell your story and prove that you are not the whore that everybody says you are, the home wrecking whore, because Larissa indicated that Vanessa Colty, wanted to divorce her after the third arrest or whatever because he was getting pressure from Vanessa. Is that the truth? Is that what really happened? Or did Colty just decide that he, had a fetish for Vanessa? I really truly believe that Colty has fetishes. I don't believe that he knows love. Not a man who can damage people and then sit back instead of taking full responsibility and ownership for their actions, throw the other woman's stuff in her face. I don't believe that that man knows love. I believe that man has a fetish, or maybe he's lusting. I don't know. And I don't even know if it could possibly be a storyline. We don't really know. He could be a sweet person. I fucking doubt it, but he could be. Right? He could be. So, what else did I think was significant in her interview that she did? I thought she looked nice. I thought she looked very nice. Um, I think she looks well. She looks relaxed. Um, in some of my conversation with Larissa was always stressed out. Um, she was sad, depressed, taking medication, trying to regulate herself. And I am so happy to see Larissa in a different place, in a better place. Um, do I believe that the relationship between her and Ericy is a viable relationship? Hell no. I think that they both have made a decision to be together, but that doesn't mean that you're in love with one another. That's just my opinion about it. To make a long story short, I wanted to come out and just talk about it because I know a lot of you all probably haven't seen it. And some people have been asking me to give my opinion about the interview, and I'm glad you did ask. Um, Again, I thought that it was a really good interview for Larissa. I think that it changed a lot of people's minds and heart and perspective about her. Um, and I think it benefited her to do this interview. However, even in saying that, I believe there's some things that she may want to clear up. And I do believe that, whatever her business is, I do believe that she has the right not to discuss it. But if you just throw it out there just a little teeny bit, then it is going to make people like myself curious about certain things that you've said. But I do believe that she has a right to her privacy just like everybody else. I truly do. Did my opinion of Larissa change? No, it didn't change. I think that she is who we see on television. I don't believe that you can have 3 domestic violence charges against you and you ain't swinging. And I mean, she may have had a reason for doing that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because again, you all know that I have been through that in my life. And when I was swinging because I needed to be swinging. There are a lot of us as women who go through a DV in our lives, and we have to make a decision whether or not it's going to be fight or flight. And like me, I stood 10 toes down to the ground, and I was like, you know what? You may do what you do, but bitch, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna know I'm there. And so when she was going through those things with Colty, there was a lot of love and compassion coming from me because I'm gonna tell you right now, Honey, I ain't got no no stone to throw because I've been through that before, and I know how that is. I know the fear that lives in you. I know the effects of it. I know that as a woman, you have to build yourself back up and figure out what is it that I did wrong. Why did I pick this particular person? And there's some downtime that you have to have in order to reconcile all of those thoughts. You know what I mean? Especially when you go through that, because there is indeed a thin line between love and hate. And when a bitch cross over it from love to hate, it's a whole different can of worms. And I have been there. I've attached to it. I've had the opportunity to help other people to get out of those situations. I've been able to mentor and mentor many women who have been through that. So that is something where I can relate to her in. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't never been locked up because I'm smarter than that. Okay. But that ain't to say that I didn't see a mofo in the courtroom with an orange jumpsuit on. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Today I can laugh about it, but years ago I couldn't. I couldn't. And I know what it is to have sleepless nights. I know what that is. I know what how that feels. Okay? I truly do. And so I relate to her on that. What else can I say about that interview? It was so much that was said that I know I'm not tapping on, but I just kind of wanted to give a summary of my thoughts about it. Again, I don't believe that the interview was enough for me to change my opinion about her because I've seen some other things. Oh, the last thing that she talked about, well, it wasn't the last thing, but because the interview was going from here to there and here to there, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, you had to just kind of like pause, sit back for a minute, whew, and then, you know, and then, you know, hit play again. But she did, was asked the question, if she paid Ericy back his money for her, you know, her brassicas. And she indicated that Eric never paid for her brassicas. So she did not have to pay him any money back. So I guess that was, you know, the money that, you know what, I ain't gonna go there, but she indicated that, you know, he didn't pay for him. And so again, here's this storyline that, you know, this man has money and that he's not as broke as he looks like he is. And then I believe, I may be mistaken, but, you know, let me clear it up in the chat. I believe that he even went so far as to post a bank statement, proving that he had all this money, even though we knew he had sold a home. I mean, you know, so, you know, I don't know, but I just was like, okay, so then why was that included into the storyline? And you know, ultimately, it just seems like Larissa began to really just have a bad relationship with Sharp Entertainment. She said that she was already filming the next season of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After when she was fired. So I think that they just, you know, they just had irreconcilable differences, bitch. And it was just time for everybody to go their own way, to separate and do their own thing. But if you get a chance to look at the interview, go, you know, look at the interview and then come back and let me know what you think about that interview. Again, for some people it changed their minds. For me, it didn't change my mind at all. I do wish her the best. I think that women should be independent. She indicated that Carmen had told her, you know, you need to make an investment in either makeup or plastic surgery, or you need to do something to support yourself. And I totally agree. I believe that women should be entrepreneurs. I believe that we have great minds and great resources. And I believe that we are better than sometimes we give ourselves credit for. And so I'm hoping the best, okay, for Larissa and for Carmen, who seems to be a woman who's very level headed, who is helping the girls. Okay, Carmen is in charge of the girls. Y'all hear me? Carmen is in charge of the girls. Carmen gets them the men, she gets them the resources. She's in charge of the girls. And I hope that what she has sown in other people's lives, the good deeds that she has sown into other people's lives, manifest themselves in her life. That people speak into her life, help her open doors of opportunities for her, as she has for all these other women. Because if it wasn't for Carmen helping Larissa could not have helped Jessica. And that is one of the things that I talk about on my Auntie's Advice channel for women. You know, women being empowered to be the best that we can be, collaborating with one another, being that Titus 2 woman who gives advice to the young women coming up so that they don't make the same mistakes and fall into the same pit holes that many of us have fallen into. And so I pop my bra off, okay, to Carmen for being in charge of the girls and even for helping Larissa, because as Larissa said, Colty tried to get her deported multiple times. In closing, I just want to say to Larissa, if you have an opportunity to look at this, or if somebody goes back, reconcile your relationship with your son. You can't buy time back. And I understand your heart and your intention while you think it's good. Okay. I just want to say that money will not be a substitution for time. Money is not a substitution for love. Money doesn't substitute all that stuff. Work on trying to have a relationship with that young man, wherever he may be, because the last thing you want is for your child to be a grown adult walking around with issues on top of issues because they are dealing with the spirit of abandonment and feeling as if they have been abandoned by their parents. That is like, no. Reach out, find out how you can be in contact with him. Save the money like you said you was going to save. Save that money, but really try to make a reconciliation plan. Put something in place so that you can be there for those children. Do I blame you for being in a country and making the money that you need to make? Hell no. We got to do what we got to do. I make my money to take care of my child. And so I don't have any judgment for any mother who is taking care of their child, trying to take care of their child. But let me tell you something. Reconcile yourself back to your son. Talk to him. Reach out to him. Do whatever it is that you have to do to reach out to him. If you got to do cam soda, if you have to do members only and show your ass and your new brassicas, in order to do what you got to do, boo. It better you than me, damn it, any day of the week. Because I ain't showing no ass like that, and I ain't showing no brassicas, because that just ain't for me, okay? That's a non-negotiable. Now, that ain't to say I'm above it if I lose everything I got and my child got to eat, goddamn it. But okay, at this point, my child is grown, so they need to find their own way, okay? So mommy ain't selling no ass, no titty, no, you know what I'm saying? No brassicas. I just ain't gonna do it. So anyway, y'all, let me know what y'all think. Write your comments down in the comment section of this video. Let me know if you think I'm right or wrong or anything. Vanessa, don't forget that my offer still stands to you. If you would like to tell your side of the story, I will come out of interview retirement, bitch, just for you. I love you all to pieces. Have a great day tomorrow on purpose. Make sure you do something for not only yourself, but for somebody else. You know what? Challenge yourself to pay. If you go to the drive-through, challenge yourself to pay for the meal for the person that's behind you. You know what I'm saying? Do something special for somebody else. That is the closest. No, not the closest. I don't want to say that. That is the way to wealth when you are able to give out of your abundance, when you are able to do something to make somebody else's life better and enriched. That is the way. I see you giving out my email address. I don't know, but I see you giving it out. So, anyway, I love you all to pieces. Thank you so much for being here. Good night.